eventually we want to have more kids and stuff, Lord willing. So we don't want to like mess too much with all that and potentially cause problems.
We would probably stop using birth control whenever we wanted to get pregnant.
Yeah. So that's our answer to that.
Hey you guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It's Monday, October 11th. We have some pretty heartbreaking news for you regarding Jill and Derek Dillard. And obviously I just did a really kind of happy update about a new baby that was born to Nathan and Nari Keller, who is Anna Duggar's brother and sister-in-law. And they had a baby boy, and Anna's due any day now. And so there was happy, positive baby news. So I was finishing that video, uploading, and then suddenly I go onto my Instagram, which, by the way, if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure that you do. I am constantly updating and sharing content on my Instagram that I might not normally share on my YouTube channel. It has a wider variety of content, and it also gives me some ideas of different topics to cover. So make sure you check me out on Instagram. I noticed on my Instagram that Jill and Derek had posted an update, and it actually started this morning because I noticed that Jill had posted something in her Instagram stories that was really sad, and I saw it and I was like not sure what it was. And then not long after she posted that, she shared really heartbreaking news about the loss of a baby. So this is the post that got me thinking that something was going on with Jill earlier today. She shared this on her Instagram stories. But this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, says my soul. Therefore I will hope in him. So I saw that and I was like, she's sad. She's sad, you know? And Jill is a pretty upbeat woman. She's generally posting really positive content on her social media. She typically shares like mom hacks and just like the musings of like what her and her family are up to. She's rarely upset or emotional in her on her Instagram. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, Jill's going through something. So then you start to wonder what it is. And then she shared a reel on her Instagram, which said, "We recently found out that we were expecting our third baby. We were thrilled. However, a few days later, we started miscarrying. Read the full story on our blog, Dillard Family. We love and miss you, River Bliss." And her post was littered with, you know, comments from so many people offering kind words and thoughts and condolences to her. So when we jump on over to her blog, where she provided more details about what happened and more details about, she wrote this. It says, "We recently found out we were expecting our third baby. We were all thrilled. It was fun to see how much joy in the boys' faces as we shared the news with them. They were full of questions and so excited as we talked about the pregnancy and how they could get to be involved along the way and after baby was born. However, a few days later, we started miscarrying. Even though it was too early to tell the baby's gender, we picked the name that we feel encompasses our baby's significance and the life we will always remember, River Bliss Dillard. One meaning for river is tranquil, and here in Arkansas, rivers are often a serene, beautiful escape in nature. We also know how the river talked about in the Bible, Revelations 22, 1-5, represents God's life-giving presence. The river of life, Holy Spirit, flows from the throne of God, and when the tree of life is for the healing of the nations. Our baby doesn't get to live here with us on earth, but is forever with the source of the river of life in the presence of Lord. And we choose Bliss for a middle name because our baby is living in perfect bliss with the Lord and was such a gift that brought immense joy and happiness to us, even though only with us here on earth for a short time." Below is a short montage in honor of River that captures us finding out we were expecting with our special moments. And then she shared a passage from Revelations, which said, "Then the angel showed me the river of the water of life, bright as crystal, flowing from the throne of God and the Lamb through the middle of the street of the city. Also on either side of the river, the tree of life with its 12 kinds of fruit, yielding its fruit each month. The leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. No longer will there be anything cursed, and the throne of God and the Lamb will be in it, and his servants will worship him. They will see his face, and his name will be on their foreheads. And night will be no more. They will need no light or lamp or sun, for the Lord God will be their light, and they will reign forever and ever." She did a reel which shared, some videos of her going and getting pregnancy tests and seeing a really faint line, and then that excitement you get when you kind of aren't sure if you see a line or not, so then you run to the store and you get another one, and then you see the faint line again, and then at one point they were using an app which showed that it had a faint line, and Derek showed the faint line when he was on his phone. And so you could tell that they were so excited, and you could tell that she was sharing it with the boys, and the boys looked super excited. And obviously for Jill, she was getting ready to have her third baby. So then later in the same reel on her Instagram, there was a message that said, "I carried you for every second of your life, and I will love you every second of mine." And it looks like she was sitting in her car coming out of a doctor's office. There was a band. You could tell that she had a band on her arm. When you go to the hospital and they put a band on your arm, it's kind of like what it looked like. So clearly looks like she was coming out of a doctor's appointment. So Jill was pregnant and now is openly sharing her loss of this baby. And it's devastating because not long ago, Jill and Derek have been not super open about what they were going to do for their family planning. They were open that they were using birth control. They were not using hormones. Jill was adverse to using birth control of the hormonal kind due to what her parents taught her, whether right or wrong, about how the hormones affect your pregnancies. So they were using other methods. So it was, for many people, because Sam is 3, a lot of people were like, okay, so maybe they're only going to have 2 kids. Maybe everything was fine. Maybe everything is good. They're going to just be good because Derek grew up with only 2 children. And then it was as Derek was ending his law school, they did an interview, and I think it was with Us Magazine, and they were talking about whether or not they wanted other children. And they even talked about it on their YouTube channel about whether or not they wanted more kids. And they really just said it was sort of they were leaving it up to God, and that they weren't against having other children. They definitely wanted to have more children. It was just sort of for a while, it was Derek was in law school. Now he's done with law school, so it would be time if he's not as busy, let's say. So in that respect, it would have been a good time to start. So they were talking about it pretty openly within the last year that they wanted to expand their family and were hoping to have another child. So obviously for Jill, she's heartbroken, Derek's heartbroken, and they both shared this on their Instagram and now on their blog. So I always think every single person deals with loss completely different, and some women do not like to talk about their loss. There is, for some women, they just don't know how to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. So for a lot of people, they just hold that secret in and they don't tell anyone. For other people, it helps them heal by sharing their story. And for Jill, I'm sure by helping others know what she's walking through will help her. Having other people sending her love, support, and any bit of prayers that they can will help her. Jill's a very faithful woman. She's very devoted to God. So I'm sure she's, would appreciate any prayers, love, kindness that you have. We are always supporters of Jill because she's been so outspoken about, leaving the family, leaving the beliefs, leaving a lot of the aspects that she grew up in. And so, it's knowing she's had a lot happened in the last few years, really rough feuds with her father and issues with her parents and not spending a lot of time with her siblings and dealing with all of the judgments of leaving the fundamentalist world behind. And then compound that with Josh getting arrested and having to deal with the very public blowback that you get just because you're a Duggar, even though she's not even connected to Josh at all, nor does she have much of a relationship with her parents. So to have something exciting to look forward to, I'm sure this is even makes it even that much harder. So obviously we are devastated for Jill and Derek, and we truly hope that, you know, they get that they heal and that they stay strong during this really difficult time. And we know that Jill has been working super hard on herself, and we already know she has a really good support system with her husband, with Derek's parents, his mom and her stepdad. His stepdad, she also is in therapy. So I know she has a lot of resources to help her through this time. It doesn't make it any easier, and it doesn't make this news any easier for Jill. So again, Jill and Derek shared devastating news, and we're so sorry to hear about it. And I'm, you know, hopefully soon she can have that rainbow baby that she's been hoping for so long. All right, you guys, tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.